What's happening, boys and girls? It's another day, it's another dollar. We have places to be and people to see about parts, mainly, for the BMW. BMW is obviously not looking its finest, as I said last time. We need to get a shift on, like soonish, and the only way that I'm going to do that is by spending money on parts. Parts that we adamantly need, one of which being an E46 radiator. I found one for 30 quid, 25 quid, I can't mind how much it was. Anyway, we're away to go and pick that up just now, which is just outside Banff, which is about an hour and a half away, which is a bit... Anyway, it's not that bad, now in comparison to a lot of what other people go through, so we've got it lucky. So we're on our way just now, and we'll pick it up when we get there. Right, so after about an hour and a half of driving, finally made it, got the radiator, and it's the right one, fortunately. There is another part that I do plan on buying while I'm up here. There is a set of calipers and flexi hoses and track rod ends. At the moment, we're looking pretty good. Thing barely fits in the boot, but it's sound. And a Porsche Carrera just went by. Anyway, I am essentially sitting here waiting for a guy to message me about the calipers, and I messaged him about half an hour ago. This might be a wait. Car watching for the time being, I guess. Alright. So, new update. Unfortunately, the guy that I was originally going to be buying the calipers from, as it turns out, I had already bought a set of calipers from him previously. It's the same ones that I went to the Highland Matsuri with. That were 330s. They didn't tell me they were 330s. And now he's also telling me that the 320 calipers that he had, with the track rod ends, with the suspension, or at least springs, and calipers, unfortunately the calipers have now been sold. Which is pretty much my luck. On top of that, the guy that I just left at his house, the radiator that I just picked up, he had messaged me also saying that he had a set of wings. If you remember in the last video, my wings are not looking all too great. Unfortunately, his missus has already left the house and I'm not going to be able to get them. And it's about an hour and a half away from mine. I'm not driving that to come back at any point. So, day's not gone as well as I'd planned. All we have is a radiator and not much else. So, alright. Anyway. So we are on our way back to Inverness, where I have one or two more pieces to go and pick up. We're in Elgin just now, got about an hour left, so I'll see you there. Hello again. You join me not at the side of the road, but in my flat, where after a pretty stressy day of it, I'd kind of had enough and I just decided to go home because, as it turns out, people were just... Saturday was a funny day. This week's been a funny day, actually. This week's been a... Anyway, so yeah, I came home, didn't end up with any more parts other than the radiator, but on the plus side, tomorrow's another day. So came back, decided that I was going to try and inquire about more parts that were more local, and I find myself finding a couple of little things, maybe not the things that I'm adamantly needing, but just things that would benefit. So, as I say, tomorrow's another day, so we're as well just to shut it off here and start again tomorrow. Hopefully, it'll be a good day. It's Sunday tomorrow already. Anyway, have a wonderful day. I'll see you tomorrow. Hello! It's another day. It's Sunday. Final day of recording before the end of the week, and it's safe to say I spoke to a couple of people last night about my part situation and what I was going to do. A couple of people came through. A couple of people suggested that I just use them because they're consistently busy with BMWs and stuff. So If that isn't a calling card, I don't know what is. So from now on, for breaking BMW, and we'll just kind of go from there. Neil, he was actually the same guy that I bought my first drift car from. He got in touch and he had told me that he's got a E320D kicking about at his yard at the moment, and that he's got a 325 coming in soon. So that's already a huge bonus. It means that I've got 2 pairs of calipers and essentially all the stuff that I need, or end up getting the parts from Rennie and just get them shipped out. But for the time being, it's 10 o'clock in the morning and I've got places to be. So we're gonna get set up for the day and we're gonna head off and we're gonna end up at the farm, or at least end up at the shed. Good shit. Need to wash the Corsa B first because that thing is not looking its finest, and I'd prefer it to be. Maybe not its finest, but you know, not hobo-ish. Hello again. You join me back at the garage, at the shed, at the cattle ranch, on another beautiful day. Can't get much bunny than that, safe to say. My weekend is gone because all of my audio is completely corrupted. I went through a lot of effort for nothing. It's always next week. Actually, before we do anything, I actually wanted to see what these wheels look like on the car, because to have these wheels and to call the car my own, it's kind of a big thing for me. Purely just because I know it'll add a lot more appearance to the car, basically, and it will be worth doing because it will give me a bit more enthusiasm to get this going. So I'm gonna cheat. No, I'm not. Actually, no, I'm not. I'm not gonna cheat. There's no cheaters here. There's no players. Certainly ain't no winners at this point either. With the appearance of this car not looking as great as this will probably be the biggest improvement on the car. Especially with those 20mm spacers on. Yup. I'm gonna get some plastic arches anyway. After I've done more just Rivnut kind of little crappy eBay arches and call it a day for that. But hi, that looks absolutely smashing. So, just like everything else on this car, unfortunately it's taken a wee bit longer than anticipated just to get the front diffs off, because that wee pin is well, she's not looking great. Yes, that was me. It wasn't like that before. I thought a bit of WD-40 would get it. Obviously I was wrong. So I tried heat on it, that didn't work either, so that's going to get drilled out at some point. So started on this side as well. This side actually was in better nick, weirdly enough. I haven't gotten to the point yet of trying to take this one out, but I am going to try and use heat beforehand just to see if I can make it a wee bit easier. Actually, I can only use heat on the front and not on the back because the dust thing was in the way and I can't get that off without taking the disc off. So, just another day. Both calipers don't look that bad. Both disc and pads could do with a change, but is what it is. So unfortunately not really much of the best effort being made, but it's effort nonetheless, and I'm just finding things that I'll need to do next time I'm back, which is part of the job, I guess. Is what it is. It's still not looking too pretty, but as I said, fortunately my mate Gavin's going to be coming over shortly with an extension cord. I have a grinder. I do have grinding discs, so Hello, you joined me back at the flat. Not exactly the day that I had planned. Long story short, I went to go and see my granny. Hadn't seen her in a very long time. She was very emotional when I went to go and see her just because of how long it'd been. Ended up spending 2 hours there. So I was about 12:30 by the time that I got to the garage, and by 3 o'clock, Gavin came round to go to a car meet that he wanted to go to. So my Sunday was pretty much other people, which was sound. For one, I got to go and see my granny. That was a very, very good time, and I was so happy to go and see her. She was telling me on how much of a shit time she was having of the whole COVID stuff. So um, I relate a lot. So I spoke to her for a good long while and ended up going off to the meet and seeing a lot of good old friends that I hadn't seen in a hot minute. So it was good seeing them, and went off, had a Burger King. Gavin, thank you so much. You absolute legend. And I'll see you again soon. But other than that, I didn't really get much done. It wasn't exactly the day that I had planned in the first place, but yeah. By the time I got back to the shed, it was way too dark. So I'll just need to hustle a lot more. So, but we'll get it out of the park. I know I will. I just need to put more effort in, which is sound. I can do that. Just need to get earlier nights, be more sensible, just get on with it. So I know that. Anyway, with the new wheels bought, and a radiator, which I'm pretty sure is probably the wrong one because the mounting point for it and the radiator are very different things. So I'm still gonna make a mount for it, to be fair, and just make do with what I have. Lessons learned for the week. For one, make sure you know what you're doing, fully planned out. So all social occasions can happen after work from now on, not on the weekend. Weekend recording time and work hustle time, and think ahead when it comes to parts. Don't always rely on people to do the work for you. Pay to get it done yourself. That's another one. But other than that, the rest of the day was pretty much ruined because my audio gave out very early on in the day. So we're winning. And about my right amount of luck. So another weekend gone. But there is always tomorrow. I have work tomorrow. There's always tomorrow. As I said, there's no rest for the relentless. It doesn't really stop. So tomorrow after work. Might be dark, but at least I can organize. Time for organizing. That's a good thing for it. So maybe that'll be on a Saturday video. Maybe that'll be on an earlier video. Who knows? But just need to get a hustle on now. There's no two ways about it. So until then, I'll see you guys soon. Hope you have a good time. Enjoy your weekday. Stay sideways. Have a good night.